Hello everyone, I'm Octopus and welcome back to another video on my channel. As always guys, if you find these videos interesting or useful, please consider subscribing to the channel in order to support me as video content creator. Every kind of support is really much appreciated. Today we are gonna talk not specifically about the ship, the booster, but about a thing that I see very often being asked to me, which is, hey Actor, I look at your video about that ship and I try to do the same thing that you did in that specific map or in that specific situation, but I failed because of this and that. So here it is what I want to say. What you see usually in streamers or YouTubers videos or matches, it is just an example. It is not that if you do this thing on this map with the ship, you're gonna succeed 100% of the times, or you're gonna have this amount of the average damage and this amount of kills or achievements or whatever. You always have to think with your own mind and your own brain and see what is the best option in this specific situation. For example, in this specific case, we are running our booster, and I mean, no one will show you a booster played on ocean on average. I mean, you'll struggle watching replays or matches on YouTube or wherever you watch them about a booster played on ocean, because it is one of the worst possible scenarios for a booster to be put on a match on ocean. Why? Because booster is an island hugger. You need islands, you need coverage to be effective, of course, to farm HE and to spam targets. On oceans, there are no islands, so here the average player would say, oh shit, I'm in a booster, or I'm in a Des Moines and there are no islands. How am I supposed to play this ship on this map? But here is the point. If you are not in the perfect spot for a ship, you have to improvise. You have to recognize that the situation is not the usual situation you would like to be in, and you have to improvise and finally overcome. Because for example, that booster overextended very much my division mate, my teammate here on my left. He overextended to just chase a Khabarovsk. But yeah, you are you can kill DDs in booster, but not on ocean. On ocean, you struggle very much, because as soon as you get spotted, you get focus fired most of the times. So plus, chasing a Khabarovsk in a booster is a fucking bad idea, because Khabarovsk is so agile and your shells are so slow that you will struggle hitting him at more than 9-10 kilometers at best. So in this sense, you always have to recognize a specific situation, and this is map awareness. This is not even positioning, it is map awareness. Recognize what is happening around you. Take a look at the minimap. What is around you? Who are you supported by? How close you are to the caps or to the enemy ships? And I mean, you always have to recognize the specific situation. Here I tried to raid at Smolensk in his smoke, but his smoke fade out, and we get the vision of Khabarovsk and we aim instantly for the Khabarovsk. We ignored completely the Smolensk, even if he was our priority target in our plan, but we switch to the destroyer as soon as we can, because in this case this Khabarovsk is the only destroyer in the enemy team, and if you kill him, they will struggle very much capping these caps. As you can see, our Shimakaze already capped B. He's now approaching to A cap, and if we kill the Khabarovsk, we should be having a kind of an easy time, winning by points, for example. So in this case, we don't want to push these guys. Why? Because as you can see, they have multiple battleships on different spots, on the 10 line, 9 line, even on the 8 line there is this Yamato. If we expose ourselves too much, we are going to be crossfired and focused by all these battleships. And we are a squishy ship booster. We have a trolley citadel, but we are squishy. So what we do is kite. Something that the booster, the average booster gameplay is not about kiting, But in this specific situation, we are forced to do that. This is not the usual stuff that we are used to do, but it is what we are. It is what we have to adapt to. We have to adapt to this specific situation. So once again, don't get stuck with a single idea of a ship. Like, I don't know, Des Moines. Okay, I go to the island. I have to camp around islands because this is what I'm good at. Or Zao, I always have to go on the flank because this is what this is what I've seen on that video, and that guy that made that video had an amazing result. So if I do this, I will have the same results. No, this is not the case. Yeah, there are general rules or general gameplays for specific ships, but you keep in mind that you are not you're not sure that if you do a specific thing with a specific ship on a specific map, you are gonna succeed 100% of the time. If this was true, of course, every kind of an experienced player would have like a 100% win rate on specific ships or on specific maps. This is not the case, of course. So in this case, we spotted again the Khabarovsk. We tried to shoot at him again. We dealt some damage, and what we do now is, once again, kite. We are not the best kiting ship ever, but we can be pretty annoying for these battleships because we don't have any island coverage, but so the enemy doesn't have any island coverage. Here, for some reason, the audio went off for a little bit. These replays have always some new bugs that I'm not aware of, but whatever. In the meantime, we can see that this Yamato is trying to shoot at us. We dodge as much as we can. We have to juke shells. We always have to try to mitigate the incoming damage, because they think, aha, a booster gunboating in the open, easy target to pick. Not that easy if you play properly. As you can see, we already have around 800k potential damage, which is not bad in a booster, because they have this Montana and this Yamato shooting at us, which is kind of scary. But you are supposed to kind of attract the enemy focus fire in this sense, because we are still full HP, and we need to do our job. We need to support our team as much as we can, and the best way to support the team in this sense is showing ourselves a little bit, spamming shooting some volleys here and there, and then going dark. This will throw off the focus of the enemy battleships from my battleships, for example, or for my other cruisers to me for a little period of time. We don't want to get under constant focus fire, of course, but we do want to show ourselves from time to time, because we need to share the potential damage, and this is not what you usually do in a booster, once again. But in this specific map, in this specific situation, we have to do that. So I repeat myself one last time: don't just imitate fully what your favorite streamer, YouTuber does, because first of all, you might not be as good as he is, so you might lack some skills or some knowledge of the game to do exactly the same kind of stuff that he does, he or she does, and second of all, every single match is different. So sometimes I'm asked during my stream or in the comments on videos, how should I play a specific ship, or I did this and that with this ship, and but something went wrong, and what I did wrong. Maybe you did nothing really wrong, but this thing is doing this thing, then this one, then this one, will not lead you to success every single time. And this is the point. For example, this time we dodged every single shell of this Yamato. The only shell that hits us, it's a Citadel. And this is almost the first shell. This is the first shell that we eat from that Yamato, the first one, and it's a Citadel. Did we do anything wrong in this case? No, we were just a little bit unlucky, and finally that Yamato landed a shell on us, but this is fine. This is absolutely fine. We are doing our job. We already have more than 1 million potential damage in a booster on Ocean. And we are even scoring some damage. Not big numbers, but still, we are doing our job. So, as always, you have to recognize the situation you are in. You have to adapt to the situation and to your team and to the enemy team, and finally overcome. Because if you play a ship in the same exact way on every single map, on every single flank, against every kind of opponent, you are gonna fail. Okay? For example, if in a Zao you are always shooting HE from maximum distance and you don't recognize when it's the moment to push in and to expose yourself and to switch to AP and blap cruisers instead of just farming HE on battleships from maximum range, you are gonna fail. I mean, you are gonna succeed in most of the cases, but there will be times when you are gonna fail because you didn't recognize how to adapt to the specific situation you were in. Once again, in this sense, we always kite away in this specific situation from the Thunder. We don't want to push in. We don't want to get closer. We want to show ourselves, deal some daka, and as soon as we get focused, we want to disengage. Absolutely. We want to absorb some damage, potential damage, but we are not a tanky ship. Once again, you have to recognize the strength and the weaknesses of your ship and adapt your gameplay to your ship characteristics. You don't force your gameplay. I mean, you cannot tank in a booster, for example. You cannot play a booster like you play a Stalingrad, and you cannot play a Stalingrad like you play a booster. In most cases, at least. So always be aware of the capabilities of your ship. Try to adapt your gameplay on your ship. Do not force your ship in doing something that she is not suited for, unless you are extremely, you don't have any other kind of option. Absolutely. If you have no options, then okay, but always try to put yourself in the situation where you can use the strength of your ship and mitigate the weaknesses. In this sense, we are using our firepower, which is our strength, and our concealment, which are the strength of the booster, but we are trying to mitigate the weaknesses, which are our squishiness, the squishiness of our armor. I always start shooting this target already while I'm kiting away, and as soon as I get targeted by more than one guy, I always stop shooting, or I at least try to dodge. In this sense, I want to finish this Yamato, even if I'm being targeted by someone. But being in a kiting position all the time, by doing this, you are not gonna make yourself a appealing target for the enemy ships to shoot at, for example. And this is another reason why you always want to kite away in cruisers, especially in this situation of literally no island coverage. Here we get a kill on the Yamato, and you are approaching 100k damage on Ocean in a booster, okay? Which is kind of a remarkable result. I'm not saying that this is astonishing or this is something unique. You're never gonna see something like that. This is the primary aim of this video is what I said before. Always adapt to the map and to the specific situation, and of course don't try to blindly imitate someone. For example, just as an example, some weeks ago, Flamu, you might know of him of course, made a video, he published a video on YouTube where he was playing spotter playing booster, okay? And in the video he says, disclaimer, do not play booster with spotter plane, this is a fucking stupid thing, okay? He says that in the video. But after that video was released, I didn't. I lost the count of players that I saw in randoms playing booster with spotter plane, and then I asked a couple of them, "Why the fuck are you playing booster with spotter plane?" And the reply was, "Ask your clanmate Flamu." That period he was still in Creed, but I mean. And this is a fucking stupid answer, of course. I mean, these are potatoes that are doing this kind of stuff, sure. But this is the point. You don't want to just fully imitate people you see on YouTube. You can take some pieces of advices from the video. You can inspire your gameplay by what they do. But once again, don't imitate. It is so stupid to just go and imitate blindly other people just because they are good or they are funny to watch or whatever. Do your own gameplay, develop your own gameplay, you develop your own ideas about how to play a specific ship. Then if you're successful, good for you. If you're not, then you may try something else, of course. But always try to make up your own opinion on things. Not only ships, of course, in general. Don't rely fully on the judgment of others. Another thing is, I mean, you can rely on this when you, if you ask him some opinions about a ship that you don't have. For example, what do you think about Thunder? What do you think about Stalingrad? About Smolensk? About whatever premium ship there is in the game? Someone that has the ship can give you his feedback. Of course, you don't get to experiment the ship. You don't get to try that ship before buying the ship, and this is fine. Asking advices on a premium ship that you are considering buying, it's fine. But and also on chivalry ships, I always get asked, what is your build on this ship? What is your captain skills? What are the upgrades? I can give you my personal opinions, but as always, this is my personal opinion. It is not the best configuration for everyone, of course. Everyone has a different playstyle. Everyone has his unique ways of playing some ships or playing some maps or whatever. So develop your own playstyle, your own ideas about the game, and you will be successful if you do that. If you just stick with the ideas of others and you don't develop your own one, you are just gonna be imitating someone. Develop your own gameplay, develop your own strategies, your own positioning. You might fail. I'm not saying that you're gonna be successful with everything you do, but at least you're trying to add someone from your own in the game. So, speaking on this match, we are winning. Here I'm just rounding up my damage. This Hindenburg got stuck on the map border and now he's regaining some speed very slowly. Hindenburg is not a very maneuverable ship, and we have kind of an easy time taking in this target, even at these ranges, because he's not dodging in any particular way. So I'm trying to adjust my aim accordingly, and with a little bit of luck and good aiming, we should be able to take this Hindenburg down. He also have a permafire that runs out, and Shimakaze tries to finish the kill. He kind of fails, and we save him basically because he was about to get blapped by Hindenburg. Now we are left with the Salem and the Montana only, but also only 45 seconds on the clock, and there is no way we are gonna lose this match. And that was the booster played on Ocean. Okay, booster played on Ocean is one of the worst scenarios ever, but adapting to the situation, recognizing when we had to shoot and when we had to stop shooting, which target to focus on, and all that stuff, avoiding shells, everything. We succeeded. We got 3 kills, Confederate, and 154k damage, and almost 2 million potential damage in a booster with a reload on ocean. So just to make it clear, these are the final results. As I said, Confederate 154k damage, 4 defended caps, 3 kills, 12 fires. Well done to our Nevsky and to our Shimakaze as well. I mean, a lot of good, a lot of players did very well in this game. So we are second on the scoreboard. So well done to everyone basically in this team. We shot the Thunder, Hindenburg, Yamato, Montana, Salem, a little bit of everything. Okay, we damaged 9 ships out of 12 in total. As I said, we received 1.9 million potential damage. We also spotted something thanks to our decent concealment. We tanked, we absorbed 51k damage, and yeah, we dealt some damage with HE and fires. So once again, guys, always this was a full 20-minute game, so very unusual, but on ocean it is a very peculiar situation. You might not find yourself very usually. So games can be very long or very short on ocean. Credit wise, nothing special to say. I will show you my recommended build for Wooster. Even if this wasn't a showcase of how to play Wooster on average, it was a little bit of a different video. So this is our Wooster. Let's start with the upgrades. Well, here, as I said, you have the option to take the fighter on the supporting aircraft. Please don't do neither of these two things. Stick with radar. Upgrades, here you want to preserve your main battery because nothing else is much more valuable. Here, this one, prolong duration of your consumables. If you don't have this one, just go for engine room protection one. If you have the hydro or defensive AA one, slot hydro and in the end defensive AA, and this is my order of this we call upgrades. If you have none of these, go for engine room protection. Here you go for aiming system modification 1. Your turrets are incredibly fast by default. This upgrade is fairly useless, so the only one that you are going to benefit from kind of is this one. Here, better propulsion. Usually you want to play Wooster around islands, so you want to get in and out of island coverage in a very fast way. So propulsion modification 1 is my recommended upgrade. Steering gears modification 1, it is kind of useless because your rudder shift time is already quite good, so you don't need that. Here, concealment, because with the full concealment build you reach 9.8 kilometers and your radar range is 9, so you want to be you have to have the best concealment possible to get your radar into use. So wait, what? Okay, never mind. My internet connection failed apparently once again. Has been failing all the day long. So apparently my internet is back online. We were talking about the concealment, so here take concealment and here take main battery modification 3 for a better reload. There are some people that use this one, but default range of Wooster is 16.7, and if you want to be any kind of useful to your team, which means getting closer to caps and using your radar, you will not benefit too much from this one. I personally find main battery modification 3 to be much more useful. You can give it a try with this one, but I don't know. I struggle to hit targets already at 16 kilometers. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to hit at 18 plus kilometers, but this is up to you. Captain build, priority target, adrenaline rush, superintendent, concealment, inertia fuse, IFHE, because with IFHE we can penetrate 37 millimeters, which means we can penetrate 32, which means we can fully penetrate the armor of Republics, Conqueror, Thunderers, and Bourgogne, that stuff. we can penetrate the bow and stern of every single battleship in the game. So if you don't have this, you're gonna be doing nothing on battleships besides penetrating the superstructures. So in my opinion, IFHE is still a viable pick on Worcester. Yes, it will cripple down your fire chance, and this is why after Superintendent and IFHE, we take Demolition Expert, and finally Jack of all trades. You have a ton of consumables, and a faster reload on your consumables is always nice to have. You might spec out of IFHE if you don't feel like it is any kind of useful, and get, I don't know, RPF instead or something else. But in my opinion, IFHE is still a viable pick on Worcester. Flags. Nothing really special to say here. Fire flags, because you want to enhance your fire chance as much as you can. With the flags and Demolition Expert and IFHE, you reach 9%, which is not bad considering that you have a 4 second of reload with my build. Other than fire flags, you go for better heal, better speed, better consumable reloading time. AA, because Worcester AA is not bad. It is not as good as it used to be back in the days, but nowadays it is respectable. And I don't know, if you want to mix in some detonation flag, ramming flag also, if you get YOLO by someone, you don't have torpedoes, so you might consider the option of becoming the final torpedo. Why not? And you can stack every kind of economic flag that you want. So this was not a Worcester commentary. This was a general talk about how to develop your own playstyle. Don't imitate others in a blind way. Just develop your own ideas about the game. Take inspiration from the others, but don't blindly imitate, because this will not make you a better player. This will just make you a meme. So that said, thank you guys for watching. So consider subscribing to the channel if you find these videos interesting or entertaining. I will leave in the description of the video the link to my Twitch and to my Discord. You are more than welcome to join if you want. Leave me in the comments your thoughts about this, and if you have any specific request or question, I'm more than happy to answer them. Once again, thank you again for watching, and I will catch you next time.